I did a very in-depth review on Mastodon's Crack the Sky, which is one of my favorite albums of all time. In this video, I will be reviewing Mastodon's most recent album, Once More Around the Sun. I actually thought this album was pretty good. It came out in 2014, I believe. I find with Mastodon, the fans always expect a certain level of greatness out of them, and especially when they're putting out a new album, and I feel that they have always met that expectation and at times surpassed it by far. These guys are more than just an ordinary sludge metal / progressive metal, whatever you want to call them, band. They are incredibly unique. Their music tells a story. The story can either be beautiful, dark, heck, even terrifying at times. However, this album, I feel, wasn't as much of a concept album as Crack the Sky was. Um, a lot of the songs are more chorus-driven, meaning the choruses of many of the songs seem to be the main focus rather than the guitar riffs and verses. This, however, changes about halfway through the album, as in songs such as Halloween and Asleep in the Deep have much more intense, heavier guitar riffs, and more of an emotional feeling through the vocals and lyricism as well. Ember City seemed to be a bit more of a ballad. However, the focus is driven to the vocals in earlier songs in this album, as well as such as Tread Lightly and The Motherlode, which are quite awesome songs as well. The Motherlode actually covers this perspective of an addict of some sort. Tread Lightly also covers a bit of this subject as well. I personally feel the vocals were done really, really well on this album. You definitely feel some kind of emotion when hearing it once again. I will point out that Crack the Sky had fewer longer songs. This album has more songs and they're shorter in length, with the exception of the final song on this album, Diamond in the Witch House, which is even only about 7 minutes long, and has Neurosis vocalist Scott Kelly, who is awesome. If you haven't checked out Neurosis, do go and check them out. In general, rather than giving this album a concept or particular stories with protagonists and characters, this album focuses a bit more on subjects such as alcoholism and addiction, and an addict's perspective on dealing with certain issues. I think the focus on this album is definitely more towards the instrumentation and the choruses, which once again are beautiful. All in all, this is quite the unique Mastodon album, but it did not fail to live up to expectations of Mastodon fans. It's still a beautiful album for sure. One thing about Mastodon is that they're never afraid to experiment. They're one of those bands who can experiment and pull it off and still make things sound good. So many bands try to experiment with new sounds and end up not sounding too good. I'm not even going to talk about Saint Anger. They even end up losing parts of their fan base. But Mastodon has always given the fans what they've wanted, if anything more than that. So I'd highly recommend you guys check out this album, and as well as other Mastodon albums as well. They are an extremely unique band. But yeah, that's really all I got to say about Once More Around the Sun. It's a great album, and I once again highly recommend you check it out. You've probably heard this before, but feel free to comment any requests you have below for album reviews, top 10s, and blah 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 blah. But yeah, thank you guys for watching my Creatures of the Night, and this has been Once More Around the Sun by Mastodon.